What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, gentlemen? What's up, fellas? G'day, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Breaking Free Your Money Journey. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about that you fellas need to stop wasting money on budgeting and financial advice. And the reason why I say this because it's very overwhelming. It doesn't matter like if you listen to any other podcasters and anything like this, especially trying to get rich, or if you listen to Romain Sadie from I'll Teach You How to Be Rich, Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad to Poor Dad, and you've been thinking, what the fuck are these cunts talking about? They go, you gotta do this with your money. Especially before, years ago, like there's this guy, Pate fella, the barefoot investor. I listened to his audio book and he's going, well, you gotta put so much away, like 60% to this and 10% in spending and like this. And it's just like, I just find it really confusing. And suppose another way that a lot of people spend money on these, especially on budgeting apps. I downloaded a couple of apps and to be honest, guys, I find it really difficult. I find it really, really hard, like really, really confusing. And you'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Like, is this like there's these categories and everything like this, and they say, oh yeah, it costs you nothing, especially when you typed in Google, right, and said, any free budgeting apps, and they go, well, these are the top 5 budgeting apps, or the top 10, or whatever, and you go on the App Store and that. I don't know about you guys, when I go to the App Stores and I look at downloading this app, I'm going, does it have any app purchases? Like, do you have to, like, yeah, there's the free version, but if you want to unlock all these features, right, then you have to pay so much a month. And look, if that's something that you want to do, I've got nothing against, because it's some shit that I actually described to myself. Like, I suppose I do use artificial intelligence, but that's a different podcast, totally different episode. And it's like, so you link all your things and you go on, what sort of categories and that. But one of the simplest things that I've done myself is that simply just write out a simple budget. Like, I open up a Word document and I type in all the shit that, like, all the things that I have opened up. Money coming in, like especially on my side hustle with the delivery apps and the gigs apps. I put so much tax. Any of my debts that I need to pay, like at the moment, like one of the things I have is called a smart budgeting with Queensland Country. And it's so great, so I went in and opened them, and it's just like, I have to put $600 away each week into this account, right? And the good thing about that is that I can't just touch it, and when I get a text message, say like I got a text message and saying that my insurance bill is coming out, I'm just like, okay, totally sweet. I don't have to worry about that. But all the other shit, like one of the things that I've done, right, is that I have this thing called Fleet Card, and that's how I was paying for my fuel. And the reason why I do that, because in the past, when I started doing this, I was like going in and paying for my fuel, and say, I didn't want to have copy receipts, and every week you end up getting a pile of receipts, and you're thinking, where the fuck am I going to put them? And it just takes up room. But using this Fleet Card, I get an email each month saying that this is how much I owe. And suppose it's like you can put down so that's what I do. So that's what I do, man. It's like I write down and how much, and especially all my subscriptions. Like, I budget about $100 a week, right? And a good thing about writing down and budget manually is that it forces you to slow down, and you have to think about it a little bit, but also you can keep the track of your money, and you might have more money than you think you have. Like, you know where all your monies go. Like, one of the things that Dave Ramsey talks about is do a zero-based budget, which for me, that's confusing. I don't recommend it. Just write down. Just make sure that all your bills are covered, right? And so you write down and make sure you got enough money to pay all your bills. And then what's left over, that's where you go in and you use that money to buy your groceries. But using a fucking an app, it's just confusing. It's fucking confusing, right? And you're paying some money, but if that's what something that what you want to do. But one of the real reasons is that it doesn't matter if you use a paid budget or not, or you go to and talk to a financial advisor or whoever. It's just more behaviour. For a while there, I was using Afterpay, paying for massages and paying a little bit extra, and then things just got out of control. But also I was using it for other things, and once I decided to go, well, I decided not to do it and pay it off and delete it. I haven't used it. And for transparency, fellas, I had a couple times since then went to these massage parlors and, pay a little bit extra to fuck them. But what you need to do, but I'm proud of myself that I didn't give myself over in debt. It's this cash that I have. But one of the reasons why I stopped doing it, because it is a lot of money, $230 a week or $600 for an hour. I mean $230 an hour to go and get a massage and leave and get a very, very happy ending, you get the fuck on that. Whereas that $230 can go. And the behaviour, and plus, I was using it, everything else is, and I started taking out cash every week. So these are the things, and also I open up a smart budget thing because it becomes such a game changer. I'm changing all these behaviours because one of the things that you might download an app and they might go, and you might use a free 7-day trial and you think, oh, fantastic, right? And they might go, oh, it's $15 a month or $150 a year for some of them, yeah? And you're just thinking, oh yeah, $150 over a year, that's a lot of money. And you probably just download it, not pay for it, thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking use that. I'm doing something about my money. It's like, no, you gotta do. I recommend it. I couldn't seriously recommend enough that you need to sit down and actually write out a budget. Just even if you just get a book from fucking Woolies, like a notebook and a pen, and even if you just write it down every time that, okay, this is how much money I come in. This is all my outgoing expenses. I got $300 left over, so I'm gonna buy some groceries and that. And then, once what's left over, you got the rest to spend whatever and that, and you can think carefully. Because also, with Afterpay and that and shit like that, you I bought this camera because I took out 20 grand out of my super. Well, actually, I took 20 grand out of my... I'll talk about something about behaviour problem, right? Okay, at my full-time job, right, I have long service leave and you can cash it in, yeah? And then, so I did that and I had this credit card and I thought, oh yeah, I took out 3 grand and cashed it in, right, and paid off this debt. But I thought, oh yeah, I'll pay it off once. And I just kept on using it till I realised, oh, this is a problem. Then I cut it up and got rid of it. And then I discovered Afterpay and that and started doing that shit. And it's like, oh yeah. And this is how I bought this microphone here with this 20 grand. I bought all this camera equipment because I was getting into filmmaking and I want to be a famous director someday. And so I put that money, I wasted my money instead of just saving up something. It's like, oh, I got to access this money. I need it right now. And that's the thing about with Afterpay, ZipPay, and Zip Plus. Is that it's basically a reverse lay-by, and lay-by will be, I think lay-by would be even better off because it's like you walk in and you say you might want this game, right? And you say you make a deposit and you just keep on coming in and just pay it off over time. Oh yeah. So if a video game, right, costs $100, you go on lay-by and you take 8 weeks, right? You have 8 weeks to pay it off. That's about $12.50. So you go and you pay $12.50, and then once you pay it off that $100, and then they'll give it to you. But the problem is this: if Afterpay, you go in, you go to what's the name, you get your phone, and you just go bang, and it's just like yeah, and then you might go on a bit of a shopping spree, and you might think, because one of the psychological thing is like I might have a limit of $4,000, and whatever I make from my side hustle, my good gig delivery apps, and fucking from a full-time job, I might have that all up, and I'm gonna go, oh sweet, I got $5,000 to spend. You know, $5,000 to spend all up. Oh, I'm fucking rich. I don't have to worry about it. Oh yeah, I'll just put $300-400 a week, and then that's just how you get yourself in a cycle, man. And I can't seriously stress enough that you got to just write an old-fashioned budget, because it's like, see, fellas, we live in a fast-paced world. Everything's going out, especially with the cost of living. And like, if you like me, have 2 jobs, you're thinking, fuck, I don't have enough time. But you just got to make time, and you just have to put some shit aside. And you don't want to waste, any money, and that's it. It's a waste of money. So there's all these different strategies, and that's the strategy I just write down on a Word document, because put it on a Word document. I can't, even if you just got yourself an iPad, just put yourself in a Word document, because the problem is that with a notebook, you put it down somewhere, you go, oh, where it is, you put it down somewhere, and you just, need to fucking write it, you know what I mean? Go and fill everything out, right? So, it's just a lack of tools. And I suppose another thing is that a lot of people buy money on books and that, and I bought Tony Robbins' book, How Rich People Think. I bought the Barefoot Investors book, I think, and How to Deal with Shares and that. And suppose you can just read them and stuff like that, but if you're not gonna, but you need to take action, fellas. Can't just sit there and fucking go, oh yeah, I'm reading this book and I'm doing something, or I'll spend money on these courses. Especially these days, especially with a lot of these influencers going, oh, hey, I got this course that you can do. And they pay you $1,000, right? You pay them $1,000 for what? Like Hustlers University by Andrew Tate. I mean, that's a fucking scam. And that's how I get you. Oh, yeah, bro, I can fucking help you to escape the matrix. You need to wake up here and all this kind of shit. And you just think, fuck off. No, you don't want to give that cunt your hard-earned money, mate. You don't need to go out and buy books. The only people that I believe that you should actually pay for their services is a financial planner. Or you can go to the bank if you have some significant wealth. But I'm not at that stage ever. And to be honest, mate, I'm not fucking perfect at the moment. I'm still new to this, and the reason why I'm doing this podcast is that one is to hold myself accountable, and it is because I enjoy content creation. And I suppose another thing is that you can learn from different resources like YouTube. There's plenty of YouTube videos, but the thing is that you don't want to go like I believe that I belong I'm starting to question a lot of things that what Dave Ramsey talks about and all these other personalities talk about. And there's some little nuggets and a little wisdom in that. And one of the things, for example, that I disagree with what Dave Ramsey personalities talks about. You gotta get a gazelle touch, man. You gotta fucking knuckle down. You gotta fucking work. And you just think, yeah, I could do that, man. I could fucking go out and work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours and have no life whatsoever. And it doesn't really matter if it takes me 10 years to do it. The average person takes about 2 years. I mean, suppose you've got plenty of time. Yeah, what's the rush? You know, especially for you blokes that have kids, you know. Don't you wanna spend some time with them? You know, watch them grow up and that. And also, you know, one of the things he says, like, don't go into a restaurant unless you're working in one. And it was like, well, okay, can't you celebrate birthdays and that and go out once? Because it's just, this is another psychological thing, is that if you're trying to repress something and you want it more, you're just going to fucking binge. But it's okay to set aside a budget. Yeah, you might say, for example, that you might say, you know, you might go out for dinner with your family or your mates or whoever, you know, next Friday. So you might go, okay, I'm going to take $50 with me, so this is how much I'm going to spend on a food. And suppose these days you could go on to your fucking website, you could go on your phone and look what sort of menus and beforehand, and you could decide what then and how much it costs. That's just something to what I do myself. If, for example, that I'm going out for dinner for my brother's birthday and we're going to this Indian restaurant, and I looked up their menu and looked at how much shit they're going to cost, and you know, and I got cash there, man, because I got left over. And it also makes you less guilty, man. If you put yourself on do yourself a budget, and it's not going to be perfect there first, but you just got to keep going. You just work shit out, you know. And it's just, you don't feel, it takes away the stress, and you don't feel guilty. You don't think, oh, fuck, I got this bill coming up, how am I going to fucking pay for it? Because the idea is that you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And I know it's hard these days, especially how fucking incompetent our government is, the cost of housing, the rent crisis, the housing crisis, everything is a fucking crisis. But then again, you know, watching YouTube videos is, you know, for free, but I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt. Even question me. You can listen to podcasts like my podcast. You know, please subscribe and help a brother out. And then you know, you just need to be consistent. You just got to keep going. Anyway, that's all I gotta say, mate. Fucking the idea is that you don't need to spend money on these budgeting apps. You don't have to spend money on courses. Just, you know, keep going, and just, if you haven't written down a budget, you know, start now. And especially if you're going wet. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, eh?